Yeah, I don't see Rigetti going back to 20. Never say never. Yeah, the low volume just means people are moving on to other things. The stocks look kind of dead, and that's that. But her big sister was hungry, so when 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, her big sister, is hungry, she stands by the bowl and she kind of tries to get you to come to the bowl. So she's like meowing and she's like nudging you over.
Order partially filled.
To come to the bowl.
Order filled.
That's how she tricks you into feeding her. Little Nibbles doesn't know how to do that trick really, but she was copying her sister. When the food came out, Little Nibbles didn't even eat it, but 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was chowing down. She just wanted to be like her sister. Her stock picks are better than mine. Oh, you want me to stop streaming? Is that what you're saying? I see this Tectonic Therapeutic, TECX. Oh, you're not a subscriber, but you want to tell me what to do. So you're not doing anything for me, but you want me to do more things for you. Fucking nerve of this guy. Anybody ever tell you talk too much? Bulls on parade, I guess. I don't know. The bulls are rocking out. There's not always a reason why something is happening in the market. Yeah, kind of a half-hearted rally. Let's see how it goes. Guy lasted 10 minutes on our stream. Had to make it about him. I'm over-leveraged, Fartcoin. Wrong. Wrong again.
Order cancelled.
I wonder if this stock can keep going. I think it might. I mean, this is pretty good data. I don't know if Nvidia stock will keep deflating. I don't. I know a bunch of companies are still interested in relaxing. I give Nibbles plenty of attention, plenty of love. She just wants more and more and more and more. What are you saying, GMAB getting axed by J&J? Pretty sure they're joined at the hip. The Pomerantz law firm is investigating somebody? Are they teaming up with Levi and Korzynski? I mean, Jerome Powell told you there's a U.S. stock market bubble yesterday. I've been telling it to you. Everybody's been saying it. Yeah, I like this TECX. I think we can get to $100. Haven't looked at Neurocrine in a little minute. Sometimes companies like TECX get bought out, but I tend not to try to rely on buyouts when you look at biotech, because pharma always takes their time with these things. They never get a sense of urgency. They always say, well, you know, let's see more data. And before you know it, you're paying for $250 million phase 3 to make Novartis happy and the FDA happy. But I like it. I'm gonna buy a little TECX. Force myself to look at it. Listen, kitty cat. You just want to play games, huh? You want to play all day. Everything is all a game. I don't know if AI is going to replace too much of audit. It's probably going to make audit more efficient and more thorough, maybe. You keep chasing these laser pointers. Why don't you go chase some returns? Chase some alpha. Yeah, I mean, that's typical, Dusty, you know. Things change quickly in biotech, and you have to be willing to be Bayesian about it. You know, you have to have no priors. You just have to be, you know, ready, willing, and able to change your mind. Yeah, I closed my Vine short too, man. That went really well. Big Bear AI is also in the top 10 most active D-Wave. But that's by volume, whereas I think, you know, you have to do a by value, and here's the value, and Rigetti's not even in the top 10. So that's a really healthy sign, I think. It's a great feature by the Godel team. So this multiplies volume by dollars, and you can see, where is Rigetti? It's in the top, should be somewhere in here. There's Tempest AI. There's Rigetti. It's like number 50 or something. So by dollar amount, you know, you can see Tesla's traded $10 billion today. Nvidia's traded $7 billion. Meta's traded 6.5. This is really cool, because if you're a professional, you're asking yourself, okay, how liquid do these markets get? You know, and you think the market is infinitely liquid, but it's not. You know, you can't really put $1 billion into a stock without moving it. You think that it should be really easy, but, you know, some of these big companies like Comcast or Starbucks, $100 million moves the stock. But yeah, there's Rigetti. It's trading more than Eli Lilly, which is bizarre, but it'll go back down to where it was. I mean, the banks will trade with you, and that'll improve your liquidity a little bit. But Trump launched a Bitcoin watch. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, you can lean into the stupidity, but it only lasts so long. You know, at the end of the day, ultimately, whether it's because of recession or something else, you're going to want to rotate your capital into something more productive. I'm trying to get a licensed icon, actually. Anybody want to slide me a licensed icon, just email me or find me on Godel. Godel is DMs now, so if you DM me on Godel, I am happy to respond. Yeah, we are gonna auction a $40 account off soon. Oh, is Fartcoin on Godel now? Sweet. We can do Fartcoin focus. Oh yeah, sick. This is all I need. It's right here. Big screen TV. I don't need to look at anything else. And yes, I'm short Fartcoin. Yeah, TECX keeps getting sold off. These days, that does seem typical. I agree with Anonymous. Why won't Chegg have to use Anthropic? They do have a deal with OpenAI. Yeah, DJT down is definitely a sign, but Fartcoin's up. Nvidia down is another sign. No, I'm still waiting to buy it, but I'll be buying it shortly. I don't think it's some like amazing long or something, by the way. I mean, thanks. Hey, Curtis, I was just looking at your code. So one of the things I'm trying to do is calculate all the gates required for these things and how small you can make these circuits and just see, you know, what the fidelity of these things are. The real fidelity and the actual kind of like, yeah, I want to do the same thing with IonQ. It's a really exciting trade to me. I think everything about these companies is basically fake and contrived, and which doesn't mean it's not exciting and interesting. It's still exciting and interesting. Be nice to each other, kiddies. Be nice. Your sisters. I'd love to see them cuddle or something. They just fight. I think you could do better than 900 gates. TECX had some heart failure data using the relaxin mechanism. They have a FC relaxin. Relaxin's been around a while, but it's never been drugged too well, so they may have the first nice relaxin mechanism. But there's other relaxins out there. Lilly has a relaxin, as does AstraZeneca. The new Lilly one? I don't think you could play Doom on a quantum computer because of coherence and setup time. I mean, gate readout is pretty slow. I'm not a Tesla bear. This is pretty much the same as... This is almost the same drug, basically, as the TECX drug. I just don't see where the results are. Oh, well, that's for kidney disease. It's a bit different from heart failure. Oh, wait. It says it also failed heart failure. Be better to stay away from TECX. Yeah, I don't think albumin binding versus FC fusion makes a difference. There are a lot of Tesla truthers out there. Vine was a great short. That thing behaved. Fartcoin is not behaving. Comcast down 10%. That's pretty ugly. Yeah, we have an equity screener. It's not that well developed. We do have one. I really like how our most function looks. There's new AI innovations every day. I mean, that's what archive is. You spend all day on archive looking at brand new things every day, every couple hours. Archive is published daily, but pro rata every few hours there's a pretty big AI breakthrough. Every pair of smart eyes and smart brains are on it. Very fierce and competitive space. Some really smart people looking at each angle. There's still, what's interesting about that though is there's still angles not being examined. So there's plenty of room for innovation. I don't think AI is going to expedite a lot of scientific discovery anytime soon. I think that we are going to have a harder time training superintelligence because we don't know what it looks like really. So it's a little hard to train train a model that's going to solve Riemann hypothesis because we don't know how to do that. So do you train the model on Andrew Weil's thought process? But if you train the model on the corpus of the internet, you're sort of necessarily incorporating weaker thinking. So do you just gather like the highest IQ people on the planet and train off their thought processes or something like that? I don't know. I think there's some different algorithmic strategies that could work that have worked for things like poker or chess, but not everything in life is like poker and chess. I haven't used ChatGPT Operator. I really should. Have you tried it? Is it good? Yeah, I'm not a UFO guy. I don't disparage the people that are, but it's not my cup of tea. Kind of an anti-conspiracy theorist. No, I think it's important to be open-minded. Take new evidence in as it appears. I mean, I didn't think the COVID was a lab leak because I'm starting to see some red here in our quantum sector. Because ultimately, I mean, these types of vertical transmissions happen all the time. They literally happen all the time. Obviously today with the evidence that we have, I'd say it's like 50-50, maybe even more than 50-50. The simplest answer is often the easiest and the best one, which is just stuff like, there are SARS
outbreaks, coronavirus outbreaks all the time. It is a natural human virus. It's not like a unusual thing, you know. So to me, automatically, cooking up conspiracy is something that, I'm from the school. The way I was taught was that extraordinary evidence requires extraordinary claims. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and that's really, really important to me. You just don't. Intellectual integrity means that you just don't make things up. Now, it doesn't mean you can't advance them and hypothesize them, but you don't just put things out there. Well, it's always hard when you have a international incident and government's involved. You don't know what's a psyop and what isn't. So we don't get told anything. So trying to research it yourself or something like that, you might as well tie a blindfold and try to hit a 3-point shot. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, I mean, certainly could be a lab leak. I just, most viruses are created by nature. I think most people agree viruses are not alive, but they obviously have some characteristics of the living. If you're in cleavage site, yeah, I haven't looked at the genetics too closely. I don't trade Forex. I see Fartcoin's coming down, so quantum cape comes down with it. It's really funny. Quantum and Fartcoin are very correlated because of the high speculation in both. They're remarkably correlated. Fartcoin is the most out there asset on the CAPM curve.
Cancelled.
Think about what it takes for something called Fartcoin to actually appreciate in value. Think about the amount of risk somebody will want to take. That's the CAPM curve. In case some of you guys didn't take finance, find a good CAPM curve here. The internet is such slop. All the GIFs don't load. Ad, that's video. There's the risk, there's the return, there's this frontier. This is the efficiency frontier. So as you take more risk, you should get more return, but there is an asymptote where you take more risk, you're not going to get more return. So the question is, where does this asymptote appear? And you sort of have QC over here, and then you have sort of Fartcoin over here, where you shouldn't be getting that much more return, because ultimately, well, actually, I would argue Fartcoin's like over here. So this is really inefficient. You're taking a lot of risk. You're not going to get a lot of return. That probably shifts downwards. And again, I would argue QC is probably over here. What you probably have over here is something like AI or something like that. And these are ideal risk rewards. Maybe bonds. Yeah, the total market itself is a curve, but you could say individual assets are part of the curve, or any point on wherever you want, actually. So there's a bunch of assets people are willing to take risk to get return, perceived return. Actual return we don't know, obviously, but there's really nothing riskier than something like Fartcoin or other meme coins, because you're really talking about the most out there on the so-called frontier, but I don't think you're actually going to get any return, even though you're going out there on the risk curve. So theoretically, there's only so much risk you could take in the stock market. And this is about as much risk as you can, so maybe your ideal meme coin portfolio could theoretically give you more return than your ideal AI portfolio, but yeah, I don't think so. But again, if you look at AI or some other thing and you say, I want even more risk, it's really nowhere else to go to the right of meme coins. You can always leverage as well, but that's another story. I think Fartcoin has negative expected return as well, but the point is that I don't think CAPM has necessarily opinions on individual price future returns, but yeah, and there's a lot in portfolio construction theory, but ultimately I think CAPM is meant to be a model and not, too predictive. Fama French is probably a little better if you're trying to predict. You want to sell tranches of meme coins, and you strip out the most secure part of the meme coin. I'm pretty bearish on Ripple. Ripple's just got a huge lobbying and legal budget. They're like the Amgen of crypto. They just bully everyone, and yeah, I'm pretty bearish on crypto. Yeah, Amgen, AMGEN. Market's very psychological in the short term. Microsoft's been overvalued, so it kind of needs to take a little breather. I don't think I'd give up on the quantum shorts. I'm pretty convinced this is it. A lot of conviction. I don't think that Nvidia meeting's going to do anything. I do think Rigetti will go under 5. Yeah. I think IonQ deserves to go to 1, but it'll probably go back down to 10. My position is just a question of how much theta I'm willing to burn. I don't think the Nvidia quantum day is going to matter very much. I'm not sure if I ever had that high conviction in Biohaven. I have a couple longs. Arvinus, Keros, TECX ended up rallying after all. KROS. I think Nova is fairly valued. They have to transition away from Ozempic, and it's really not clear that they can, but they're going to try, and the fate of the company rests on that, basically. Keros has some nice drugs. Pretty attractive valuation. Don't know what 𝗕𝗓𝗃 even is. Haven't followed Micron too closely, but last time I looked I was bullish, but it's a biotech company. Biotech companies don't generate revenue, sometimes for a decade. You spend money until you get FDA approval. I don't know the nuclear space that well, but yeah, I would put those on the front end, on the far end of the CAPM curve as well. Highly speculative, very high risk reward. Yeah, trading 0 DTEs would be at the far end of the CAPM curve, but those are also just theoretically levered equities in a way. But again, haven't studied theoretical finance in a while, actually. I don't think shorting Nvidia is crazy, but you have to have some conviction that something happened with Blackwell. You have a good read from Facebook or somebody that spending might be a little worse than expected, because Facebook put out pretty crazy number for spending. I mean, Facebook's talking about 60 to 65 billion. You got Elon telling you robotics is going to be a $10 trillion industry. Now, in the short run, all that matters is what's that quarter look like. Long run can wait. It's not late to go short, I don't think, if you think they're going to miss earnings, stock will go to 70. I don't think they'll miss earnings. But yeah, there's some rumors that Blackwell didn't go as well as planned. Elon's always dreaming pretty big. So, and that's a long-term dream. He could be off by 5 or 10 years, and he'd still be right in his mind. That's the difference between a visionary entrepreneur and a pencil pusher. He looks at the SEC. Well, technically you said on Q3 2022 that we'd have full self-driving by this date, and you were... It's like, bruh, I'll make the car drive itself, all right? But, that's the philosophical nature, and that's the... there's just people are built a little different. He's a dreamer. He's an optimist. He's an idealist. People value different things, You need somebody like Elon to dream up the future and be wrong and be right and take big risks. Otherwise, the whole world's accountants. That's interesting. Novartis' materiality threshold, speaking of accounting, is 25 million. Hey, bro, let's throw a $24 million party. Yeah. Shareholders will never know. How much can we spend on the corporate jet? 24 million. Wow, LAES is really, really nice short. And yeah, it'll lead the way for the rest of the space. I can't wait to collect. I'm short Fartcoin. I've been short Fartcoin for a while, on and off. It's rallied pretty aggressively. I expect it'll reverse. I basically have 2 big positions right now. I don't think you have to have an event to move a stock. That's just, not necessarily the way it works. Well, oftentimes you can tell from phase 1 what's going to happen in phase 2 or phase 3. Best prop firms, I don't know, Susquehanna, Jane Street. What's a prop firm? Quantum Plumber, Boson Cutter, Lepton Miner. These are all jobs of the future. 𝗲𝗓𝗓. 𝗲𝗓𝗓 is my favorite. Not sure what a 𝗲𝗓𝗓 does, but yeah, I think boredom is really important for retail to lose faith. Just get on to other things. Peak was December 10, Jan 8. Now we're at 19, barely above post-Willow. Yeah, MicroStrategy is definitely going to have it's going to keep narrowing that band between fair value and Bitcoin. I don't know if the quantum bubble's burst yet. Rigetti is still up 12x. Oh, my P&L might actually turn positive for the day. Oh, wow. QUBT is available for shorting. They got into a market where sellers had no real price sensitivity. So both Vivek and I, and there are others, I won't name names, who followed this space and realized that pharma will sell you drugs for any price. Okay, so is tops UPS being down is never good. Oh, did they have earnings, or did they have? I don't know if Nvidia is going to go lower or not. I mean, Zuck didn't sound like he was going to pull back spending, and neither did Microsoft. They were all like, yeah, we know this. This is expected. Book value is not too valuable to look at. I do think gold is worth looking at for those kinds of reads, yeah.
Part of shorting is you have to go figure out how to secure your position and trade with a counterparty. That's like a major part of getting shorts off correctly. I have faith you can do it. It's the number one question I get last couple of days or last week or two is, how do I short meme coins? Nobody was there to hold my hand when I was trying to short the Kazakhstan Tengai. I had to set up a black market import-export corporation on the shores of a foreign nation. You understand? I had to learn new language. You understand what that takes? No, I mean, yeah, shorting is any exotic financial play. Look at Burry, right? Burry, you saw the Burry movie where he's trying to get Goldman Sachs to put him up on a trade. Not everything is as easy as pressing, open your Robinhood and press buy or press sell. You have to work, put in the legwork. You want the profit, put in the legwork.
Order filled.
QUBT is basically a scam.
Order filled.
It's like almost completely. It was a beverage company that pivoted into quantum computing. I don't think that short sellers are necessary for an efficient market. Well, let's see. I don't know if they're sufficient for an efficient market. You have plenty of short sellers. They get scared of losing money too. A lot of my friends quit shorting. They just said number go up. Number go up technology. Yeah, when you're surviving the shorting something like this, which I'm somewhat surprised that I've survived this. Trading around the position helps a lot. Alleviate some pressure and make some money on some small trades here and there. I don't know. I'm in a weird state. I've been sick, tired. I haven't been myself. Yeah, well, the SLS is above the warrant price for that lucky fund that got this deal. The 100% warrant coverage. Jesus. You just have to be careful with shorting something like Fartcoin. Any leverage is just, this thing's a powder keg. It can move 50 to 100% in a day. No problem. I don't really believe in longevity. What do you mean blob as stocks? I am short WIF as well. WIF is a bit pitiful. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the big mutual funds are pretty high quality teams. Yeah, I think we're in a bubble. I think it's fairly obvious. Fartcoin is up, that we're in a bubble. Wow, tops took forever to really blow up. That's crazy. This is the close price of a stock called Tops, which was a big bubble stock back in the day, which I barely remember. Anybody vividly remember Tops? Yeah, Top Shipping. Is Tops baseball cards also a bubble? I remember Tops baseball cards were public. So Tops took an astonishing 598 days to drop 50%. So if you think bubble retracements are fast, ooh, boy. Not necessarily that fast. Yeah, I have some .com bubble data as well. Best case scenario, Sundial, Nikola, and Ginkgo all dropped 75% in just 1 quarter. Kind of getting close to 1 quarter for quantum. So I think that's kind of that. Yeah, that market, it's interesting. It seems like the bubbles bursted faster in certain markets than others. Yeah, Tops took the longest to burst. The shipping bubble was very long-lived. There were 2 stocks that come to mind in the shipping bubble. There was Tops and dry ships.
Order cancelled.
Tops and dry ships were the 2 big ones. Diana, I don't remember that one. Do you remember the ticker? Scorpion, Danos. The optical networking bubble was a really big one. It took, looks like 7 months for a really burst. People figured out they'd been had on this one pretty quickly. Although there's lots of little bounces. Getty was 1.2, $20 even. It's almost down 50% from there. This, if you get this chart, I almost don't think it matters because you see how linear that decline was. You're really hoping for the linearity. The bumpiness is kind of like, you don't like, obviously the big part, hopefully you don't get any of that. But you don't want this. This sucks. That did happen to us with quantum. Then you get it again. But this part you can make huge amounts of money because you could leverage parts of it and continue to leverage parts of it. Love the game too much, I do. So that's why we kind of stay on its neck. Linear regression to what is the problem, right? But yeah, you can use linear factor models to price stocks. It's been done for a long time. More complicated than a single linear regression, but yeah. Multi-dimensional regression. I would say 125x leverage is too much. Yeah, you need to get some credit card data to see if people are still shopping, buying breakfast at Dutch Bros.